Very good morning, children. Today I am going to explain you how a laser is produced and the principle of producing laser. Stimulated emission of radiation. This is the second class in the topic laser, and in the first lesson I explained the characteristics, advantages of the laser. Also we discussed what is spontaneous emission of radiation. I said there are two types of emissions of radiation. Number one, spontaneous emission of radiation, and two, stimulated emission of radiation. The process of producing laser is stimulated emission of radiation. The reason is, in the case of spontaneous emission, an atom which is in the excited state comes down, jumps down to lower energy level by releasing one photon only, which is equals to the difference between the two energy levels. And we should observe one thing, that during the spontaneous emission, all the atoms do not reach the same energy level. Therefore, they do not release equal photons during the spontaneous emission. And the second thing is, the lifetime of excited atom in the higher energy level is 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds, which is equals to 1 nanosecond. During this process, the radiation which is released by the atoms is not having a single wavelength, but it is not monochromatic, it's not coherent, it does not follow directionality. So these photons released in spontaneous emission, they are not lasers. They are ordinary radiation. Therefore, another process which is very specific, and the principle is very something different from spontaneous emission. So what's that? This is nothing but stimulated emission of radiation. What is stimulated emission of radiation? We must observe two important points during this stimulated emission of radiation. Number one, the lifetime of excited atom in the higher energy level. Number two, how many photons are released by the excited atom when it comes down from excited energy level to the lower energy level or the ground level, whether they are equal or not. So these two points are very important, and we are going to discuss about this process, stimulated emission of radiation. So during the stimulated emission, the atoms, they will come down by stimulating an external photon. How is it is done? Now I am going to explain you. Here we have a diagram which represents the energy levels of atoms, and we can have a ground level and an excited level. Excited level we denote with E2, ground level is denoted by E1. So obviously E2 is much greater than E1, and we have the atoms in excited level. In the excited level, the atoms are here, and we denote the atoms in the excited level with dots, and even in the ground level also some of the atoms are there. But we are discussing the atoms which are in the excited level only. And the lifetime of the atoms in E2 is 10 power minus 9 seconds. Immediately after 10 power minus 9 seconds, they will come down, and some of the atoms come directly to the ground level, even, and some of the atoms may reach to another level which is in between E1 and E2, but we are not discussing about those levels. We will discuss about the energy levels in between excited and ground level later while discussing lasing action and pumping, population inversion. Now this is excited level. So this excited level is very short and the lifetime is 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds only. So 10 power minus 9 seconds lifetime. Now what you have to do? What is stimulated emission of radiation? So for uh, conducting this process, we select one photon, one radiation having the energy h nu. This is the energy which we have selected to stimulate the excited atom. This h nu energy consists many radiant particles and all are having the same energy h nu, and say one photon strikes an atom. This is the incident photon which is having h nu energy. It stimulates the excited atom, and this atom comes down after striking external photon. When external photon strikes the atom comes down much before 10 power minus 9 seconds. It means the atom is brought to ground level very much before 10 power minus 9 seconds only. It will not complete its lifetime. So it will come down. When it comes down, it releases two photons. Remember, during this process, it releases two photons. So these two photons are equal to each other and both are identical to the external photon. So once again, we revise the same concept here. So we have considered two levels E1 and E2. One is ground level and another is excited level E2. The lifetime of E2 energy level is 10 power minus 9 seconds, and the atoms in E2 stay for 10 power minus 9 seconds. And then what you have to do to perform stimulated emission, we select one external photon. This selected photon having the energy h nu. So one photon, radiation consists many photons. So all the photons strike the atoms. One photon strike one atom, 1 to 1. So one photon strikes one atom. When this photon incidents the excited atom comes down. So we have shown here, this is, so this when this excited atom jumps from E2 to E1, so then it is stimulated to come down before its lifetime only, and it releases two equal photons. Two photons are released here, and these two photons are equal to each other, and also these two photons are identical to external photon. Then what happens? These two photons again strike or incident two more atoms, and they bring two more atoms down. Two more atoms are stimulated, and those two atoms come down, and each atom releases two more photons. It means we have 2 into 2. 4 photons are there. Finally, when all the atoms in the excited state come down, an arrow beam of monochromatic, coherent, powerful, high intensive radiation is produced, which is having the energy equal to h nu. So, stimulated emission of radiation, it emits monochromatic radiation. It emits coherent radiation which follows directionality. So we use this process to produce laser. So what happens when this stimulated emission is observed? The atom is brought to ground level or lower energy level much before its lifetime. It means very much before 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds only. So from E2 to E1, the atom is brought down, releasing two photons. Two equal photons are released here. And then what happens about the lifetime? About the lifetime during the stimulated emission, it is very much less than 10 power minus 9 seconds. So the atom is brought before completing 10 power minus 9 seconds only. Then, what is the nature of the radiation? Characteristics of the radiation during stimulated emission of radiation. So, the radiation which is released during the stimulated emission is monochromatic. It means which has single wavelength. So, it has a single wavelength and directionality follows the directionality. Coherent, monochromatic, it means a narrow beam of single color traveling in one direction is produced. This is the nature of radiation here. And now I'm going to explain you the differences. We have to see what are the differences between spontaneous emission and stimulated emission of radiation. Here we have. So the first point is the radiation during spontaneous emission. During the spontaneous emission, so the atom comes down after completing the lifetime 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds. It means spontaneous emission is released after 10 power minus 9 seconds only. But stimulated emission, it is released much before 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds. It means the atom is brought before 10 power minus 9 seconds only. The second point is during spontaneous emission, one atom releases one photon. One atom releases one photon only. So this atom in spontaneous emission, it releases one single photon, whereas in stimulated emission, it releases two photons. And the two photons are equal to each other and identical to incident photon, external photon also. And here, the radiation, third point, the radiation consists many wavelengths. So during spontaneous emission, the radiation is monochromatic. It consists different wavelengths. And the example is hydrogen spectrum. It has five series: Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, and Pfund. This is due to spontaneous emission of radiation only. And coming to the stimulated emission, the same point, it is having only a single wavelength, which is called monochromatic. And the next point is here. During spontaneous emission, the radiation is not coherent, but stimulated radiation is coherent. And the intensity of radiation which is emitted spontaneously is not so high. It is not high intensive, but whereas stimulated emission of radiation is high intensive. The radiation which is stimulated, that is emitted in stimulated process, is very high. Next, the radiation does not follow the property of directionality. So, whereas stimulated emission follows the directionality, it means all the photons of the radiation they propagate in one direction only with a single wavelength and coherence. Whereas spontaneous emission of radiation, it does not follow the directionality. So, if you switch on a torch light, the light propagates in all directions with low intensive having many wavelengths. But whereas the laser, it is a narrow beam, just like a sharp line, and travels in one direction only with a single wavelength. So these are the these are the differences between spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. In the next class, I'll explain you lasing action and population inversion.